My fiance was obsessed with me forgiving my abusive parents when I told her why I would never do so. Now, I am passing her my trauma. I have been with my fiancée Emily for 2 years now. She and I have two very different childhoods. She is from a tight family, Mormon faith, support everywhere, great friends and family, and a very sheltered and naive view of the world. While I was the product of chaos, grew up with screaming, theft, name-calling, and drinking. And maybe a weekly visit from the police from all the yelling, you get the idea. When I turned 18, that was it, officially kicked out by my parents, who threw every insult I grew up hearing. Grew up with no grandparents because they lived in a different state my whole life. My parents are stereotypical. They peaked in high school stereotypes. Dad was the quarterback, mom was the cheerleader, and both blamed me for their failures. Dad could have made it to the NFL if I never came along, and mom could have been somebody if I hadn't ruined her life. From the ages of 18 to 25, I worked for CP Rail. I started as a grunt worker, then a train conductor, and later, as a driver. I lived in a studio apartment and saved up so much money that I moved to Utah when I turned 25. Utah is a beautiful state and has great opportunities for work. For the next 5 years, I lived in a very small studio apartment until I bought a cabin in the Rocky Mountains away from everyone at age 30. That is when I met Emily. She worked in a realtor's office, and to keep it short, when she introduced me to the family, it felt amazing to have the love from them that I never had. Then came the questions of my family that I tried to explain away. For a full year, I told Emily about my past and upbringing, but I felt she didn't understand or believed me. Remember I said she was sheltered and has this naive view of the world. She truly doesn't see reality's cruelty or darkness because she has never been around it. The world is full of flowers and rainbows. She doesn't believe that humans are cruel and can treat one another that way. She lives in a fucking bubble of delusion. I have tried to show her and tell her my life is real, but it can't be that true because no parent kicks their son out. Why would you lie like that? Let me draw you a freaking roadmap again. Again, she still believes it isn't true, and I need to find my parents. Before I proposed, she told me she would find my parents part of our lives. I begged her to stop and please leave my parents out of this. She recently said, if they were hard on you and showed you love that you see as hard, you need to forgive. She has become freaking obsessed with finding them. It is all she talks about. I feel she will find them, and they will show up, and everything I have done to better myself will be gone. I am getting very close to just ending this relationship. I am sorry, but are Mormons like this? Is there something in their faith? Or is there something deeper I am missing? The girl has never left her own town. Update, so yesterday afternoon, I asked my fiancée to talk. We sat at our kitchen table, and I asked her not to interrupt until the end of my speech. I outlined my upbringing and life from 18 years old until we met. And at the end, I asked her one question. Why do you think I am lying or struggling to understand my past trauma? At first, she did not answer. She sat in silence for at least 10 seconds before uttering the words, "You are still lying. Please stop with this story of I was abused." No parents would ever treat their gift and blessing from God. Being stern and loving parents is not abuse, and we must forgive the past. Honor your father and mother. With this sentence, I knew all of you were right, but one comment had a great idea. I looked at her and said, well then, I guess there is only one way to prove it to you. I knew I would set back over 10 years of therapy with this one act, but for me, this would be the final nail in our relationship. I took out my laptop and found my mother's and father's Facebook pages. They had their numbers on the main page, and I asked her, what number shall I call? She looked at the pages and started to tremble with her words. It looked like her sense of reality was breaking because there could be a chance I wasn't lying. She said, "You father." I told her to remain quiet. I dialed the phone on speakerphone. My heart was beating out of my chest as the phone rang while my soul was praying. He wouldn't answer. "Dad, what the F do you want?" is how he answered. "Hi Dad, just wanted to call and say I'm getting married." "Oh wow, what do you want a freaking medal?" "Who cares? She is probably some street corner worker." "You have wasted your time trying to tell me this. Block my number, and I will block your deal." "Oh, wait, better yet, let me tell your mother, hey, Op is getting married to a street worker." "Mom, ha ha ha, is that the best he can do?" "Oh man, should we tell him how our lives are better?" "Dad, oh yeah, we should. Thanks for getting out of our lives. We are living the dream out here now." "Mom, what was the freaking purpose of calling us your piece of?" I hung up the phone and blocked the number fast. I sat in silence, tears and all my emotions boiling over. Emily sat in complete silence, unable to move or speak. I got up and told her to please leave my house and give me the ring back. She snapped and started pacing the house, muttering, "This is not real. Parents love their children. They love them. They love them. They love them. They love them. They love them." She started to bawl her eyes out completely, and I grabbed my phone and called her parents, telling them to come get her now. When they arrived, Emily was completely unhinged. Her worldview was completely broken, and she had a mind break. She screamed at them, "You love me, right? All parents love their children, right? That's what you told me, right? God loves all, right?" Her parents tried to calm her down. She grabbed me and fell to her knees. "You love me, you love me. No one stops loving. Parents love, husbands love, forgive. All can be forgiven. You need to forgive me. God can forgive. Why can't all forgive?" At this point, I called the police and paramedics because she was starting to become violent. They were able to restrain her before loading her in the back of an ambulance. Her parents went after. They apologized to the heavens and back. They confessed that Emily always said I was in a stern household and struggled with my faith. When I told them my past, Emily would retell the story, and they felt they had to believe her. The father left for the hospital, and the mother stayed to organize the house and Emily's belongings. She sat in silence and prayed for a minute. She told me she thinks she failed her daughter. She was raised in a very loving family and never saw the world as it is. She feels her daughter is stuck in a 1950s family movie. She hugged me and told me I was always welcome to call and come around but would understand if I went to NC with them. I thanked her and told her I would go to NC for a little while and let them focus on Emily. Well, today, I feel numb and will contact my therapist and try to get back on track. I set myself back 10 years.